18-year-old Samantha Koenig was closing up the coffee stand where she worked when cops say
New surveillance video
shows an armed man abducting her and taking her away.
One terrifying clue. She was last seen on her surveillance camera being marched away from work by an armed man.
A teenage girl abducted by an armed man who was robbing the drive-through coffee shop where she works.
There's been no sign of her since.
Police saying she has been kidnapped.
Where is Samantha Koenig?
The longer we go without knowing where Samantha is, the more difficult the case becomes.
To Samantha's father, James Koenig. Mr. Koenig, what are the cops telling you tonight?
So far, they are saying they have made significant progress. They're starting to get better leads. Other than that, that's about all they're giving me.
To Lieutenant Dave Parker from the Anchorage Police Department. Lieutenant Parker, thank you for being with us. What is your theory as to what happened to Samantha?
Right now, we know that Samantha was abducted from that little coffee shack. And we know that her abductor came into the coffee shack and that he took her out against her will. We're operating on that theory and getting a lot of leads in and things like that that are helping us investigate the case.
Well, obviously, it is someone that either knows her personally or frequents the coffee shop. To Lieutenant Parker, what time of the day or night did the abduction take place?
The abduction took place about 8 p.m. On last Wednesday night.
Was it dark?
February 1st. Beg pardon?
Was it dark at the time?
It was dark, but it's a lighted parking lot.
To Matt Zarrell, Matt, is there surveillance video? And isn't it true that the guy was wearing a hood?
Yes, Nancy, there is surveillance video. The guy was wearing a hood. They believe he was armed. He had something in his hand. They're trying to determine if it was a gun or a knife, what type of weapon it was.
Police and volunteers are braving sub-freezing temperatures in an all-out search for 18-year-old Samantha Koenig.
18-year-old Samantha Koenig was closing up the coffee stand where she worked when cops say
New surveillance video
shows an armed man abducting her and taking her away.
One terrifying clue. She was last seen on her surveillance camera being marched away from work by an armed man.
A teenage girl abducted by an armed man who was robbing the drive-through coffee shop where she works.
There's been no sign of her since.
Police saying she has been kidnapped.
Where is Samantha Koenig?
The longer we go without knowing where Samantha is, the more difficult the case becomes.
A beautiful 18-year-old girl goes missing from a local coffee shop. Straight out to Matt Zarrell on the story. You know, there's only about 280,000 people in the entire area. I mean, clearly this is somebody connected to her. I know in November she took out a TRO against a guy. Any connection? Has that been investigated, Matt?
Yeah, there are reports that police are looking into whether this man that she filed the civil restraining order against back in November is connected to the case. I know that Samantha's father has said he believes that the attacker possibly knew Samantha or likely knew Samantha. Police have reportedly spoken to this guy. They're still trying to determine if there's any connection. This is not her current boyfriend, though. I just wanted to make that clear. And they're still working to determine the suspect. One thing we know about him, dark hooded sweatshirt, possibly a baseball cap. They're also just trying to determine if he acted alone, if he had help. Maybe someone else was waiting for him to take the girl back wherever they were going, Nancy.
Back to Samantha's father, James Koenig. James, it's my understanding that at one point you could see the skin on the hand, and we know it is a white male. Is that correct, James?
No, Nancy, that is not correct. I have not seen the video. I was not anywhere in the area to get visual on the perpetrator. Let it be known as well as the TRO, that was not a former boyfriend, that was an acquaintance.
Okay, good to know. Mr. Koenig, what is your theory as to what happened to Samantha?
I believe that she was abducted. The person that had taken her out of the coffee shack, I don't believe she knew the person.
Do you think it was a customer?
No, I do not. I believe they came there specifically for her. I believe the person was connected with somebody she knew.
There is a $60,000 reward in the case. Please help us find Samantha. Tip line 907-786-89